Christopher, for short it's Chris. This is my first video on the channel, and with this I'm trying to decide which content is best for my channel. Of course it's gonna be something I have an interest in, but I just wanna test out what people like from me and what I'm best at delivering. And I've chosen the topic home automation today because it's one of those things that I'm very not passionate about, but more like obsessed with. So yeah, let's get to it. What I'm going to show you today is a bit more advanced than the normal how-tos you see around the web on YouTube. My inspiration comes from a channel named Bra. I don't know how to pronounce that, but Bra Automation, which is a guy who shows a lot about how he does his home automation and what software he uses, what hardware he uses, and how to set it up and stuff. And I really like that. But now I have sort of not really passed the level his channel gives out, but he hasn't that much of advanced stuff when talking about the configuration of one of the systems he's using. And this system which he's using and also I'm using is called Home Assistant. And Home Assistant is running on a Raspberry Pi 3. You can run it on anything, I think. I'm not sure about Mac, but you could certainly run it on a Windows computer, and then of course a Linux computer. The way I have installed it is using the, I'm not sure what it's called, but Raspbian image, I think. It's the Raspbian Linux distro, but with Home Assistant pre-installed, because I had some problems running the one-time install. I'm not sure what it's called. One line installer, you know. So it's an installer that just installs all dependencies and stuff for you. But I had problems running that, so I just used the image, and it was easy to set up. Anyway, if you want to do that, I recommend you go to his channel. I will link it down in the description, and most likely also gonna add it in the video somewhere. I'm not sure, probably in the right corner. So today what I'm gonna show you is it requires you have already set up your Home Assistant instance, and you have set up some stuff to automate, but after that this is gonna be really cool, because this is one thing I had some problems with. The documentation, well, it's great, they have great documentation on their website, but it's a bit confusing sometimes, because some of the syntax, even though it looks like it has to be the same, because of the way, you know, something looks like it makes sense that it should be the same, but because of some flexibility, some things are different. And that's what I'm gonna show you today, to just give you an example and guide you on the way, and maybe save you some time to not needing looking up the documentation and reading a lot, but just watch this video. Anyway, this is my system at the moment. I'm planning on doing a lot more with it, but at the moment I have something. I'm Danish, so most of it is in Danish, but this you can probably guess. General, if you add a T, it's Danish. This is presence. Transport, it's the same in Danish. So this is weather, you probably see, and this is my lights. Here we have my Chromecast and my TV also. The videos, the video, but what I'm going to talk to you about here is some automatic automation. I have a camera, an SVIS camera, which is great, sort of. I wouldn't recommend it because, well, maybe in the US, but in the EU, where I'm from, you have some limitations with it. I have overcome that, or I have found a way to enable some stuff you could normally not do, but if you aren't that tech savvy, it's probably a problem for you. Anyway, if you're in the US, no problem there. I have this camera that I want to be able to turn on and maybe give me a message when the camera is turned on or something like that. And I'm also planning to add more stuff, maybe some sensors and making alarm system and stuff, but I don't have the hardware for that right now, so it's just my camera. Anyway, what I have here is this is called an input boolean, which is a component, I think it's called, on Home Assistant. Here you can just press this, and when you press it, I get a notification which says your home is secured, and also get that notification on my phone. So that's great. By the way, Home Assistant is easy to configure with Pushbullet, which can send notifications to most devices. So I wouldn't recommend setting that up for notifications. Anyway, I'm gonna show you some code now. Let me see. Okay, this is my... There are two kind of stuff to automate. If you're watching this, you probably know this already, and you probably know stuff about services and all that. But I'm just gonna talk about the automation part of it. You have the regular automations here. Normally you would have them in just a YAML file in the root directory, but you can split the files up and add them to folders to make it more organized. I still need to do these with splitting these up, but at the moment it's fine. Anyway, so we have the automation, which is also just a YAML file. You can see here I have a guard home one automation, an on guard home automation, and an automatic automation. This is my guard home automation. What this does is that the trigger here, which is the one that triggers the automation, so if the thing happening here does happen, it will execute this action. You can see here that I have something called script.turn_on and then script.guardHome. This refers to a script, which is a way to add more actions to an automation. So normally you could, actually I can show you at my one of my other automations. You see, you could easily add the action here, but you can only have one action per automation. So to allow for multiple actions, you see turning my alarms on my camera and also sending me an automation, it's nice to use scripts. So going back here, just shut that down. What it does is that it looks, states are an essential part in Home Assistant. Everything most have a state. This is the input boolean, which is kind of, as I told you, a component, which is more like an UI component. Some components are behind the scenes. So this is a UI component which all of these are stored in Home Assistant. So if you go under developer tools, you have this sidebar here. You can see all of the services or states. Sorry, this is all the states you can access. So if you want to check a state, like I do here on my on my input boolean, this is just I want to check an input boolean, and the name of the input boolean is god.home, it's god underscore home. And when that state changes to on, do this action. The action is using the script.turnOn service, and the script it wants to turn on is the god home. God home script looks like this. By the way, this is the name that it refers to in here. So god home, you have named it up here. Alias is just that if you want to list your automations, you can give it a more human-friendly name. Anyway, this is kind of the action parameter you saw from the automation, but it's just a sequence of actions. And what it does at first is alias again. It's just a human-friendly name if you want to show it in the UI of Home Assistant. The service is an if this then that trigger. Why I'm using that is because I can. It's not my SVSCAM is not a regular IP camera or something like that, so it doesn't have web services or something like that. Well, it does, but not locally. So I'm using if this then that to trigger as an applet I have made, and the applet is using the maker channel. In this maker channel, it's pretty easy. If you go and create a new applet and choose if and choose maker, and then it asks for an event, you can write it whatever you want, but I will recommend using no spaces, and if you need a space, just do underscore, because it's more friendly for files as this. And then this one just turns on the alarm. You can also watch one of Pro Automation. I think he has a video on this as well, so I would recommend watching that as well. And this, I'm not sure if it needs it, because it doesn't need this value one, I'm sure. But I saw it in an example, and I just added it. So maybe you don't need it, but yeah, it's here. And the other action is to notify me via the service, and notify .has, and if you set up push bullet, this is basically just using that service. And then my message and title. I think on iOS the title is not showed. It just shows push bullet as the title, and then the push bullet, yeah, and the message shows it shows also. So if you want, or maybe it's the title, I'm not sure, but I would recommend using the same text in both, because I think it gives the best experience on iOS. I'm not sure about Android, but that's my experience, because in some cases you can see the message or something like that. I can't really remember it. Anyway, that's my script, which do these two actions. And when I press on the stage, when I press this button here, it turns on the automation, which calls the scripts, and when I turn it back off, it calls another script pretty similar to my God Home one. It's just called on God Home. This is my automation, so pretty much the same, just off in the value here. and my script on guard home guard, which just do the opposite. I have another maker applet with another name which does the opposite, and then just a notification. This is the manual way of making the guard stuff. This is not really what I wanted to show you, because this you can see many places around. I wanted to show something called called automatic guard, which checks my two devices, or there are two devices in this household, and it checks if these are home or not. So you can have multiple triggers by using this syntax. So if maybe this one is not home, it triggers, and if this one changes to not home, it triggers. What you can see here is I have some conditions, because maybe this one triggers, but I want to make sure that my other device is also not home, because I only want to guard the home when everyone is not home, but I want to guard it when the last person leaves. So here we have the condition, or we have multiple conditions. It works like this. First you have the condition statement where every condition has to be under. Then you have another. It seems like it's the same, but this defines that the next ones here is gonna be and. You can also use or. So if you want, this is to define that here under is all the conditions, and basically it adds an and between all of these. So and if you have another and, so this means that every one of these conditions has to be met before this action down here is triggered. If you use or, only one of them has to be met. You can also do, actually you can add this again under here, so you can have condition, then condition, and or again, and then conditions under. So you could do this. Then you can do thing like this, condition, conditions. Then you can choose here and, or you can have or. Maybe we have an or one, and then you do this, and you can have condition, blah, and so you can nest your conditions. I have a very big list of conditions. So that's pretty nice. Whoops. And if these conditions are met, it triggers the action, which is just the script you saw before. It guards that one. I also want to add something extra. I might make a custom script for this, because I want that if the automatic script happens, it also has to change this boolean, input boolean, so I can see that it's actually on, because this don't happen at the moment. So I hope this video wasn't too confusing. Also my yeah, ironic. My English maybe isn't that good, because I'm foreign. It's not my native language, but I hope you understand. And I really want to help you out and make more videos. So if you enjoyed this, please leave a like and subscribe. And also, I would really appreciate if you would comment what you want to see, any advanced stuff, any setups, anything. I'm also planning of maybe doing some productivity stuff, looking at different apps, different methods, applications and methods and stuff like that. I have been through a lot already, So I have a bit of experience with a lot of them. I have read some of the book on GTD, but I have used the methods because I have learned that through others. So I also know about that. If you want to hear something about that, leave a comment. Maybe I will do some gaming. I do game, so if that's interesting, maybe I'll do that. But I really like education people, so if this is interesting, yeah, please leave a like and subscribe, and remember to comment. And you can also see on my banner there are some what do you call that, subtitle, which states what I'm planning to do on the channel. So if any of these categories suit you and you want more of that, please keep going back to my channel and watch my stuff, and also comment anything you want on these categories.